join your palms together and recite after me. Homage to the Blessed One, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one. Homage to the Blessed One, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one. Homage to the Blessed One, the Arahant, the perfectly enlightened one. Thank you very much. So, good evening again, all of you. I'm glad to see you all here. So, as many of you are my Facebook friends, I believe. So, as you know, I just got back from Malaysia. So it was like just 2 weeks ago, less than 2 weeks ago. And, you know, just recently, all my friends in Japan, the first question they asked me was, how are you in Malaysia? You know, do you miss Japan? How do you cope with your life in Malaysia? So the first thing, of course, you know, you all know is Malaysia is so hot, right? These days, 35 degrees, 36 degrees. So I told my friends sometimes that, well, I joke with my Malaysian friend, I say that I really pay tahan. Pay tahan actually is a Malay word. It means that I really kind of push to my limit, yeah, to try to embrace the temperature here in Malaysia. Yes, that is, you know, to embrace the hot temperature in Malaysia. There's one topic, part of the topic that we're going to talk about tonight, how to listen compassionately to our loved ones and to our colleagues, to our friends, to our people at work. Okay, so back to the temperature, because it's so hot in Malaysia, and this is my sleeping room. Yeah, this is my room. So my room has no air conditioning. Yeah? So for the past few days, at night time, it was like around 30 degrees Celsius. It was really hot with just a fan running around. So in order to sleep, I have to go downstairs to the living room where we have a big air condition, right? So, but the problem is our house got 4 rooms, yeah? And all the rooms are with air condition. So my mom has warned us in the beginning that, well, when you come home, you know, do not turn on the aircon at night. We cannot turn on the aircon at the same time because she's afraid that you overload the whole electrical system. So she has warned us that do not turn on the air condition at the living room at night. So, but I think just a few days ago, yeah, when I was so hot at night, I couldn't really sleep, which is my fan turning on. So I had no choice that I had to go downstairs, you know, without my mom knowing, and turn on the air condition and try to sleep. But you know, when you do something like that, you know, of course you'll be caught and you'll be fine. So the worst thing was, and I think it was like 1 a.m. in the morning, you know, my mom slowly crept in the living room. I don't know how she knew it. She just came in and she was shocked to find me sleeping in the living room with the air conditioning running. So she was so worried, you know, she was like, oh no, what are you doing? Stop. But I knew that, you know, that was in the middle of the night. I was so sleepy. I was tired. I was feeling too warm. And I just like, I want some sleep, mom. Okay, you know, I just turn it off, go back to my room. And, you know, in my mind, I'm saying that leave me alone. I want some sleep. Okay, then actually I say to her, okay, mom, turn it off. I go back to my room. That's it, you know, case closed. Stop complaining about it. So I went back to my room, but then after 10 minutes, yeah, my mom slowly climbed down the stairs. You know, these days she hardly walk, you know, properly. So she climbed the stairs and she knocked on my door. And then I was like, what, mom? Now what? That was in my mind. Yeah, I was really kind of yelling and screaming, what now? So my mom said that, you know, she looked so worried in her face and said like, oh, is it okay here? You know, it's so warm. You need air condition? I was like, well, you just told me not to use air condition, right? So what am I going to do? It was in my mind. I start to feel that there is this kind of emotional kind of, a little bit of anger started to arise in my mind because it's the middle of the night, I need some sleep. But then I knew that I shouldn't and I cannot let go my steam in front of my mom. So I stay quiet, you know, and see what I'm going to say. But what shocked me next was she started to tell me, started to show me something that I started to understand what is worrying her, And then she said something which I could never forget. She said that, well, I feel so sorry for you, all your sisters living in they all have air conditioning, they sleep comfortably, but only you, poor you don't have a proper comfortable, air conditioning room to sleep on. So she felt that kind of remorse. She really felt sorry, and that was not it. And then it went on to more remorse that she has been feeling towards me. And then she started talking about, when you are in high school, I was so busy working, I didn't spend enough time, I felt so sorry. So the thing is, from the beginning, with the air conditioning thing, and then the story evolved to how my mom is feeling sorry to all of us. Yeah, how she felt that she didn't do enough for us to give us like a more comfortable life. So what I'm trying to say is, well, I could expect a little kind of conflict, that could be evolved into a conflict if I let go of my steam, initiate at her and shut her off. But instead, I didn't. I kept quiet. I listened to her, and then I found, what she really worried is actually about our well-being, and that is love. Yeah. So I learned from this point that how important is listening in this case. Yeah, if I chose not to listen to her, if I chose to go to sleep immediately, if I chose to ignore her in the middle of the night, I think I might have hurt her in the first place. Second place, I think I could never be able to listen to understand what she really feels about us, our siblings, how she loves us. Well, she never told us about it. But from this instance, I could really feel, I feel I'm connected with my mother in that night. And at the end, we end up spending about 1 hour to 2 hours. I just talking to her, talking about the past, talking about the present, talking about the future. And that was one of the most memorable nights I had in last week that I spent with my mom. Okay, that is listening. Listening for me, this is a very, very important listening to me. That's what I'm going to talk to you about. How, if we are willing to give some time to other people, our ears to listen to what they want to say, instead of jumping straight into our reaction, anger, hatred, greed. So we try to, postpone our reactivity, postpone our reactivity. Instead, we try to listen. Result of the conflict, of the possible conflict, might turn out to be a completely different thing. And that's what I want to talk about today. Yeah. So in compassionate listening, I believe that there are three very, very important components. Yeah. The first one is attention. Yeah. To give attention to the people you want to. The first thing you have to do is to have attention, to pay attention. Second one is acceptance. Yeah. So what do you mean by acceptance? Well, we'll discuss later. And the third one is altruism. Altruism in Buddhism means selflessness. It means not about us. Yeah. When we listen, it's not about us. It's about the other. It's always about the other people, how they feel, what they want, how they see us, what they're going through. So this is altruism. It's not how I think, how I look at it, how I feel. It's a complete opposite. All right? How does that work? Okay. Let's go to attention. Yeah. Okay. Attention. Now we all know what attention is. Yeah? Attention is, to make effort to focus on one person when he or she is talking, telling a story, speaking, or have a conversation. that is a very first component we need to have before we can have meaningful attention. The movies Top Gun, the Maverick, that is in cinema, very recently. Well, I'm sure many of us have watched that movie, right? Top Gun. So there's one scene in the movie that I think is very, kind of interesting for me. Okay, there was this, Tom Cruise, the forever young, handsome Tom Cruise, he went to this bar in Navy base, and then he kind of bumped into his ex-girlfriend, right? Who happened to be the boss of the bar. Okay, what happened was, and when they were having a conversation, Tom Hanks accidentally put his smartphone or cell phone on the bar table. And then immediately, the lady at the bar rang the bell, yeah? You know what happened when they rang the bell in the bar? It means that this person is going to buy everyone a free drink that night, yeah? So, there are like hundreds of people in the bar. Imagine it can cost you a fortune. Okay, the point is, why does the bar have this kind of rule of not putting a cell phone or a smartphone on a bar table? You shouldn't take out your cell phone and put it on the table. This is against the rule. So I was quite interested, so I went on to check online and I checked the movie Top Gun, Rules of Bar, yeah. And I found that this bar actually existed. Actually, it's true. It's a real bar. And what happened is they have 3 rules. Yeah, the first thing is when you're in a bar, you shouldn't wear hats. Yeah, no hats, and you don't touch the airplanes hanging from the ceiling. Second one is no cell phones. So it became clear to me that a bar is a place for people to connect, to make friends, to communicate, right? So no hats mean that, in the Western world, having a hat on you is quite rude. Whenever you want to talk or go to somebody, how you take off a hat, right? So that is like a prerequisite, the manner before you talk to anyone. So that is a no hat. And then no cell phone. That is really sure that you shouldn't have your cell phone on top of a table whenever you talk to somebody. So this is interesting. Yeah, but it's because last week when I first got back, and then I started to have a conversation. I had one gathering with my friend, Now in Malaysia, I don't know, actually for young middle-aged people, when you go for a drink with your friends, the first thing you'll notice is everybody take out their phone, right? And then put on top of the desk or the table. Well, I know how you feel about it, but maybe we are so used to it. But actually, you think about it, is it really necessary to have a cell phone inside and you can on right next to it all the time, even when you're talking to your friends? Okay, I love a kind of comparison given by one famous author who says that, well, especially you just looking at your cell phone when talking to other people, even just by taking a beat, while talking to yourself, talking to your friends face in face, that is no different than you're holding a newspaper in front of you, start reading while you're having a conversation with other people. You get what I mean? So in the old time, when we're talking with family and friends, we would never hold up a newspaper right in front of us and start reading. That is very rude. That means that stop talking, I want to read the newspaper. Right? But how come we can do today having a cell phone in our hand while talking to our friends? Isn't it the same thing? So this is a message, yeah, that was given by the author. I think it's really true for today. So we start to lose attention to people around us. We spend too much time on our cell phone, on other things, that we start to have a kind of, our attention is leaking to other things. Right? So this is what I mean by attention is a first prerequisite for having a very meaningful conversation, right? So at this point, let me pause for 1 second. I will like to share you a very short video clip. Yeah, so share. Okay, please be patient and hope you enjoy that little movie. Oh, sorry, where is that? Okay, Google Chrome. Yeah. Okay. Please bear with me, yeah? It's just about 2 minutes. It's a very meaningful clip. I hope you enjoy it. Okay, so you've seen this video. We can name. Oh, can you see the screen? Oh, okay, maybe not. Sorry, I have to share it again. Desktop 2 and okay, share. Is it okay? All right. No sound for the video. Okay. Well, sorry about that. I forgot to play. Well, the video actually has no sound. It's just a music background, yeah. But anyway, there's no conversation. I'll make sure I'll turn it again for the video. We got another video coming up. Okay. Now, yeah, that video is about the connection of human being, that we have lost connection. So attention, that's what I'm trying to mention again. Attention, actually, in Buddhist practice, especially meditation, attention is the most important, technique that we have to master and to maintain. I remember my master always, my meditation master always told us that focus, breathing in, out. That's it. Don't switch your mind to anything else. Focus on the breathing in and out for 30 minutes, 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. So focus, that means paying attention to one thing at a time. Yeah. The problem with today's society is we are so distracted by our cell phone, by our work, by our hours. It's just too much information to consume and then too little time to use. That's why it's becoming clear to me that it's even more important for nowadays. If you want to have a good connection, good conversation with our family, with our friends, with our colleagues, we should pay attention at that exact moment when we want to make a connection. All right, like a father and a son. I mean, when a father want to talk to a son, stay away from the phone, put in a pocket, right? When a mother want to take her daughter to a walk in a park, put the cell phone away and just focus on that child, what she's thinking, how she's enjoying herself. Look at every smile on her face that she's trying to communicate with you. That is the most valuable, touching experience that we human can have. Right? So I believe that by focusing on one thing at a time, we will be able to have a more meaningful and interesting communication. So first thing, attention. Yeah. But what if you tell me that, well, Sifu, I don't use cell phone, I'm very I can control myself. You know, I always put my cell phone in my pocket whenever I talk. Okay, that's good. You know, that's the first step. But even though we don't look at the cell phone, but when you talk to others, are we really paying attention? Is our mind wandering somewhere else? Are our minds still thinking about the game, like a football game, or that we watched last night on the TV? Or is our mind actually listening to the person in front of us? Is our mind actually paying attention to even the to the body language, yeah, the non-linguistic language that we are receiving all the time? So that is a more important. That's where we put our mind. That is the most important thing, is attention. So the first rule of communication is pay attention, yeah, and stop distracting ourselves from other things. Okay, and okay, and the next thing I want to talk about is acceptance. Yeah, acceptance. What is acceptance? I remember when I first learned about meditation a long time ago. That I was in Canada. I was I was studying my in Canada, and I remember there was this elderly lady. There was one of my best friend in Canada. His name is Biona. You know, I remember she is in a Buddhist center where I learned meditation. So she happens to be a very good listener. Yeah. So whenever I have problem, so I remember at that time I do have some problem in my studying, in my relationship, and my life as a foreign student in Canada. So I remember very well whenever I go to talk to her, whenever I going to like complain or make kind of tell her about my worries and my feelings, she always give me that kind of look. First is attention, listen, and then also is anything else. You say, yeah, right, yeah, I know how hard it is. Yes. No, she never judge. She never said that, oh, you should do this, you should do that. Why don't you try that? No, zero. She gave me no advice at all. All she did was just, yeah, I know. Yes, I understand. Yeah, this is what I call acceptance. Yeah. Maybe we also remember sometime when we talk to our best friend regarding, I don't know, anything about our life. If I'm sure there are some people that we love to talk to who doesn't really give us advice. Yeah. The people who accept us as who we are, the people who say, yes, you have the right to feel anger, to feel angry. You can be yourself. You know, this is what I call acceptance. So if on our side, we can create this kind of environment for our family, for our friends. So this is what I call a very harmonious relationship that we can have for other people. Okay, for example, just I think last week, yeah, I went to climb a mountain in Ipoh. It's my hometown. So this is one of my friends. She's actually taking her son along with us. Yeah, her son is really young, only about 6, 7 years old. So what happened was his son was playing was to climb the mountain. The road is really steep. Yeah, we're only halfway through, and he was already complaining. Oh wow, it's so hard. I'm dying. I'm so tired. And he stopped. You can imagine, like, he became emotional. So what surprised me was, instead of her mom going to him and say, come on, a little bit more, you can do it, boy, come on. No, she didn't say that. What surprised me was she actually went to the son and telling that, yeah, I know, it's hard, isn't it? Yeah, I know. That's it, she didn't say much. And then she continued to walk. And after 1, 2 minutes, I saw the son start walking again, as if he has forgotten, like just 1 minute ago, he was complaining that he was going to die, but he didn't. Somehow, I mean, from her mother's reaction in that short period of time, I can see how his emotion has been tempered, yeah, and then how he can feel like her mom understand her. Yeah, at that moment, he kind of could move forward, without thinking too much about the suffering that he's going through by forcing himself to climb a mountain. So are we accepting the children is having the emotional time? Are we accepting that, yes, you can complain. Yes, I know it's hard. By just saying that, that is acceptance, okay? Even in Buddhism, I know there's a very famous phrase that I'm sure many of us have heard. It's called 沏茶去. It is translated as just go drink tea. Yeah. Actually, this was happened in one of the very famous koan. Koan in Chinese, it is a Zen practice. Yeah. So what happened in this in China, there was this very famous Zen monk, yeah, who was famous because he has some insight in meditation. He has gained some enlightenment in meditation. So many people went to see him, asking for advice. Okay, many people come and go, oh, master, I went through this kind of situation, meditation. What should I do? And then instead of answering their question, the master always give the same answer. 沏茶去. It means that go drink tea, stop talking. The next person who came said, oh, master, I got some problem with my family, my wife, da 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 da. And then the next thing he said is 沏茶去, just go drink tea. So his student wondering why did this famous master never answer the questions raised by the disciples or the students. What happened? What is he doing? Why every time just tell people to go and drink tea without giving them answers? Now, if we look back, now we are studying this koan, and then we try to understand, yes, that is exactly the Zen spirit. What is it? Acceptance. What do you mean by acceptance? It means that the master is trying to tell his disciples who came with all the problems in life, tell them that accept your present situation, accept your present moment. Yes, I know you are suffering, but I heard you, I saw you, I don't judge you, I don't say you're right or wrong. I just say, go and drink tea. Go and drink tea means that enjoy the present moment. Now you're here. Now you're not with your problem. Now you're with me. Just enjoy the tea that's in front of you. So this is exactly what I mean by acceptance. Yeah, we don't judge people by telling them what is right or wrong. We don't give them advice or what they should do with their life problem. Instead, we accept them that, okay, I know you feel bad. I know you feel sad. I know you feel lost in your life, but it's okay. I know, I understand. I accept you as who you are, just like this photo here. The mind and the love, the heart and the mind actually is connected. I use my mind to understand your problem. So I'm accepting you as who you are. This is a kind of an act of kindness, right? This is an act of kindness. So this is what we mean by acceptance. Okay, as I promised, I'm going to show you another movie which show what is acceptance. Yeah, so we are talking about acceptance here. We're talking about one concept, which is empathy versus sympathy. Okay, so what is empathy and what is sympathy? Empathy is 同理 in Chinese, 同理, right? Sympathy is 同情. So what is the difference between empathy, 同理, and sympathy, 同情? Let me stop this and I show this movie. This time I make sure I turn on the sound. Okay, it's on Chrome. Can you see the screen? Yes, right? Okay, let's watch this. 1 minute. Well, 2 minutes, maybe.
And to me, I always think of empathy as kind of sacred space when someone's kind of in a deep hole and they shout, it's dark, I'm overwhelmed. And then we look and we say, hey, you climb down. I know what it's like down here, and you're not alone. Sympathy is, ooh, it's bad, no. You want a sandwich? Empathy is a choice, and it's a vulnerable choice, because in order to connect with you, I have to connect with something in myself that knows that feeling. Rarely, if ever, does an empathic response begin with "at least." Yeah. And we do it all the time. Because you know what? Someone just shared something with us that's incredibly painful, and we're trying to silver lining it. I don't think that's a verb, but I'm using it as one. We're trying to put the silver lining around it. So, I had a miscarriage. Oh, at least you know you can get pregnant. I think my marriage is falling apart. At least you have a marriage. John's getting kicked out of school. At least Sarah is an A student. But one of the things we do sometimes in the face of very difficult conversations is we try to make things better. It's difficult. I'd rather you say, I don't even know what to say right now. I'm just so glad you told me. Because the truth is, rarely can a response make something better. What makes something better is connection.
Hey. We share the same thing. Okay. Yeah, from a movie, we can see that that is what we call acceptance. It's empathy. Empathy, that means that you don't always have to give advice to friends. You don't always have to make things better for them. Listening is accepting who they are, where they are, and we go near to them, put in their shoe, put on their shoe, and try to feel what they feel. Even if we can't, the effort itself is already showing that we care, and that effort itself is already something that people want, is acceptance. That is what I mean by acceptance. It's been practiced in all religions. I think we have this time for us to really do it in our daily life. Acceptance. Okay. The next ingredient we need for a good listening is, altruism. What is altruism? Altruism, as I said before, is selflessness. It's not about us, it's about other people. Okay, let's look at this famous painting. I'm sure many of us have seen it before. Actually, what are you seeing in this photo? Some people say, it's a duck, it's a bird. Or on the other side, some people may say, well, it's a rabbit. So is it a rabbit? Or is it a duck? Is it a bird? The thing is, there's no correct answer for it. For me, I believe so strongly that it is a rabbit, but it may not be for some other people. For some other people, it may be a bird, a duck. So the thing about listening is to be altruism. It means that we don't hold on to what we believe to be true. Of course, I have my standard. I believe this is a rabbit, not a bird. But when listening, as I said, it's not about us. It's not about us. It's about other people. If you think this is a bird, okay, at this point, it's a bird, right? So this is what we call altruism in listening. We don't use our judgment, we don't use our value to put on other people and try to put them in the mold and try to make them think and feel like us. That is not listening, that is teaching. The teaching is another method. Listening is just we go along with how they think and how they feel. So that is a compassionate way of being together with other people. I remember there's a famous story in the sutra, in the Buddhist scripture, which says that there was once, the Buddha saw a young man. He was prostrating, praying with different directions, the 6 directions by the river. So the Buddha approached him and asked, "Hey, young man, what are you doing?" And the young man said, "Well, this is a ritual that my father taught me. We pray to the 6 different directions. Each represent a kind of a god. So by praying, we ask protection from the gods. So that make us, I mean, that protect our family and myself. And the Buddha listened, heard about it, but you know that, with Buddhism, we do not believe that praying to a God, I mean, to a deity actually help us. This is not the Buddhist way. So, but instead of correcting his misunderstanding about the reality, the Buddha said, oh yeah, oh, you know what, this is a very good practice. But you know what? We have similar practice in Buddhism too. Well, you see, would the Buddha use a very kind of interesting way of talking to him? He said, yeah, we do. We pray for safe direction. Of course, this immediately raised the curiosity from the young man. And then he asked, oh, really? So what is it? Please tell me. Okay. And the Buddha said, well, we pray like, 6 different directions. We pray to the first direction. And we say that is to our teacher, to our teacher who gave us, who used the effort to teach us. So we pray and thank them. And the next direction, we pray to our parents. And the next direction, we pray to our friends and to our family, and so on and so on. So by changing the mood, or by giving a new meaning to the same practice to the young man, he accepted, he was so happy that, oh, really? Oh, I understand, by paying prostration, by praying to this 6 direction, actually means that I'm saying thank you to all the people around me. It's not really a superstitious practice that asks for protection. It's a way of saying thank you to the people who have been kind to me, who have helped me. So we can see that this kind of tactic here is used by the Buddha all the time in the scripture. So that is what I mean by altruism. Yeah, the Buddha didn't go and talk to, no, according to the right view, we don't pray to deity for protection. This is not the right way. We always generate a kind thought, but he didn't say that. He didn't preach. He didn't teach. He didn't try to say that he was wrong. Instead, he gave it a new meaning by listening carefully, understand his situation. Yeah, remember, the Buddha was actually seeing the rabbit, but the young man is actually seeing the bird. But instead of telling him, no, you're wrong, this is a rabbit, the Buddha said, well, yeah, it's a bird, but this is a meaningful bird. The bird actually, is doing something more meaningful to your life. So this is exactly what I mean by altruism. We put aside our judgment, we put aside our value, and then we listen to the person and be with them. Yeah. I remember, okay, there's another also funny story that happened to me. Well, I wouldn't say it's funny. I feel quite sorry about that. There was, I think, a long time ago when I first attended one of the counseling session. I was joining a counseling session to learn to be a counselor. So there was this kind of a group work. Yeah, we were learning, we were practicing to be listening. Yeah, as I'm talking about tonight, how to listen carefully when I'm talking to people. So we were being put into a group of 2 people. Yeah, but so happened I was paired with this young girl. I think she was in her 25 or something. Anyway, so what we had to do is she has to tell me a sentence to describe her feeling, her emotions, anything she want to say that describe her emotions. But me, as a listener, I have to respond to her how I understand it. Yeah, you see what I'm saying? You tell me one thing, I respond to you to let you know that I understand what you are saying. Okay, and then it started, right? So she told me one very interesting sentence. She said that, well, I am a person with stories. Actually, she was saying in Chinese, yeah, 我是一个有故事的人. In Chinese, when you say that 我是一个有故事的人, or I have, a lot of, I have a lot of experiences in stories. Actually, that means that for me, it means something like I was hurt before. Yeah, I had some unhappy experiences. So that is what it means in Chinese. So when I heard that, immediately I can ask, oh, she's having a hard time. Yeah, but I don't know why, because at that time I was trying to, I was still very young. I was trying to prove that, I'm really learning well in the learning session, in the listening session. So I try to prove that, oh, I'm good. I could understand, I could guess what you're saying. So immediately I say my answer without thinking much. I say, I know, because she's a girl, she's at this age. Immediately I said, oh, you must have just broken up with your boyfriend. Am I right? No, it wasn't a fact. It was by blind guess. But because of her age and because of her face when she's telling me that she has some stories, I kind of guessed that, yeah, that must be something to do with relationships. But what happened is when the girl just heard my answer, she broke into tears right away. She was crying and then she was sobbing. Oh, I was really shocked. I didn't know how come an answer like that could make somebody cry like that. She actually broke down and cried until our teacher has to come to our group and try to make her feel better and try to, what happened? What did you say? They want to know what happened here. So what I'm trying to say is, I was trying to prove I was good, by guessing what other people are going through without standing on a position. I was on my side. It's about me. I want to prove that I'm good. I'm a good listener. I know, I understand. But I forgot that I say something too direct that could hurt her feeling, that could make her feel even worse. So that was my experience. That's what I'm saying. If you want to listen, of course, altruism is a higher standard of listening. Yeah, it's a kind of higher level of listening. We try to let go of ourselves. It's not that I want to prove I'm kind. It's not that I want to prove I'm good. It's not to prove that I'm better than you. It's not to prove that I'm a positive thinker. No, it's completely about the other people, not us. All right, so that is altruism. All right, so I hope, sorry, where is my page? How come I don't see your faces? But anyway, okay, all right, are you okay with it? So we've talked about three things, right? One is attention, acceptance, and altruism. These are the three most important ingredients to be a good listener. Okay, now let's do some tests. What do you mean some tests? I'm going to give you a scenario, a question, and then I give you 5 choices. And then you let me know your answers. All right? Okay. First, let's try this. It's a scenario. Okay. Your newly graduated nephew has just got a job interview, and he say to you that I'm worried that I will fail again, just like the last interview. Okay. All right. You're okay with this scenario? Your nephew told you that your nephew is going for a job interview. He failed the first time. Now he's worried that he will fail again. He will not do good again. Okay, what will you respond? What do we tell him in situation? Okay, I give 5 choices and see what you think. The first one is, no, it won't happen, boy. Be confident and you will succeed. All right, positive. Second is, well, why don't you talk to your friends who have succeeded for advice? Right, fair, right? Okay, the third one is, don't be pessimistic. How can you think so negatively? Does it sound familiar? Well, the fourth answer is, well, you feel worried due to your past experience of failure. It seems that you are not confident of going for an interview. Okay, this is one way of answer. And the fifth one is, it's normal for new graduates. Come on, failure is good for all of us. Well, so they're thinking. Okay, now if you like, please choose your answer 1 to 5 and just say, put a number if you want to take part in this. What do you think? I see number 1, number 5, number 2. Some people say number 4. Okay. Oh, I will say no worries. Fail makes you success in future. Yeah, I love that answer too. Great. Number 5, number 2. Okay, more answers. Number 5, okay, seems that number 5 has the highest vote. 1 or 2? No, it won't. Be confident. Number 4, okay, some people choose number 4. That's the longest answer. Okay, let's go to one at a time before I actually tell you, before I actually tell what I feel, Okay, but first answer, no, it won't. Be confident and you will succeed. Okay, number 1, is say, actually, this is something that we try to, I can understand that, when we say that, we are trying to give our nephew, we try to make him feel that, yeah, it's okay, don't worry, you'll be fine. Just be confident and you'll be succeed. So what does that mean? Be confident. We are trying to give advice, isn't it? So giving advice, So remember when we said before, what is acceptance? Acceptance in part of listening, acceptance means that, well, we can give advice, but advice can come later, right? Advice may come later. First, listening, the first step of listening is to what? Not to give advice first, right? Okay, how about a second answer? Why don't you talk to your friends who have succeeded for advice? Well, actually, this is a very fair advice. This is good and it's correct. But now we're talking about listening, right? So listening actually doesn't give advice at this moment. Do you know what I'm saying? All right. Okay, and the third one, don't be pessimistic. How can you think so negatively? What is it? Judgment, right? Judging. You see the word negative, when somebody is really feeling down and not confident, we're actually judging them and say, don't be so negative, cheer up. You see, what is it? This is judgment. Do that all the time, don't we? Right? And the fourth one is you feel worried due to your past experience of failure. Okay, we are telling them that telling them what they are going through. It seems that you are not confident of going for the interview. Right? This is not how we feel. It's about them, right? You're talking about them. Oh, you're worried. I know. Okay. Then we're talking about, oh, you're not confident. I can sense you're not confident. Okay. You see, this is acceptance. We are not judging whether they're doing right or wrong. We are not telling them what to do. We are just reflecting to them like a mirror. It's about them. It's about them. It's not about us. It's about them. Oh, I know you feel bad now. Yeah. You remember that short movie I showed you before, just like a few slides ago, when that bear, when what was it? The deer. He fell down to the hole, and what did the bear do? He climbs down, right? And what they say to him? What they say to the deer? They just say that, yeah, it's bad. I know. But I'll be with you, right? He didn't judge, he didn't give advice, but just not trying to solve the problem for the people, but try to connect. So this is what I mean by connect. We say that, oh, I know you feel worried. I know you're not confident. This is connection. We are trying to we're trying to fit in the same shoe as a person is going through, or we're trying to be the same frequency with the person. You see what I'm saying? Okay, that's number 4. So number 5 is normal for new graduates. Failure is good for all of us. How do you feel when people tell you like that? It might feel good, in some situations, but it doesn't work all the time, Sometimes we can feel like, oh, you are like sound like a teacher, So it's a teaching process. Of course, sometimes it works and sometimes it does not. So at the end, of all these answers, of course, they're all correct answers, What I'm saying is, if in this station, I will prefer my answer to number 4. You feel worried, This is what we call acceptance without judgment. Yeah. And at first we pay attention to hear the problem, and then we accept it as they are, and then we let go our wants, our wish to teach, our wish to solve problem. We try to let go of it. So this is what I call listening. compassionate listening. Okay. All right, we try another question. Okay, last scene two, yeah? Your student yell at you. You don't understand the feeling of a homosexual person. You see that? If you're a teacher, that might happen to you before, right? So students say that you don't understand us. Us mean that we are homosexual people. You don't understand us. You know, stop correcting me. Okay. How do you answer that? First thing is, yes, of course I understand. Okay, you know, you try to agree with him, right? Second answer is, you don't have to care for others' view. You know, now it's like, oh, you know, it's okay as long as you're happy. You don't have to care for other people. It's fine, just be yourself. Well, you know, it's a way of consoling. That's true. You know, you can't expect the society to understand you. Well, you know, it's another conformity. Yeah, it's to confirm that yes, you're right. You know, nobody can understand you. You know, it's like saying that nobody can understand you. I know it's bad. And the next thing is, well, you know, you feel that you are not being understood and accepted by the society, and you feel sad about it. If you want, you can talk to me about your feelings. All right. It's another way. And the last way is, homosexuality is abnormal. You should seek help. Okay. Now let's try it again. What do you think about it? Which one will you choose? How will you react? 4. Well, I mean, okay, now it's like choosing the longest answer seems to be the, you know, the safest way to do it, right? Okay, for number 3, yeah, exactly, yeah. Okay, let's go to number 1. They say, okay, yes, of course, I understand. Okay, what do you mean by that? You know, yeah, you try to approve, you know, but it is, of course, I understand, you know. This feels like, but actually ask yourself, do you really understand? If you're not a homosexual person, do you really understand how they feel? You know, don't just say it because you think it is good to say. Say it what you mean. If you don't understand, say you don't. Sincerity is the most important skill. I mean, the most important characteristic in listening. Don't lie. Okay. So it's not a good answer, I think. Okay, you don't have to be care for others' view. Yeah, it sounds like advice again, right? The third one, that's true. You can't expect society to understand you. This is also another judgment, right? How can we say the whole society cannot understand you? I mean, somebody's already feeling it, and then you kind of push him further down to the rabbit hole. Okay, of course, the last one is like more like condemnation. Homosexuality is abnormal. You know, yeah, you're sick. You know, you should go see a doctor. That is a very strong word. So number 4 is good. You see what kind of feeling are we giving to the person? We understand them. Oh, I know, you know, you're worried about being not accepted by the society, and then you are sad. But if you want to talk, I'm here to listen. You see, no judgment. Yeah, we don't judge. And then we try to be, we don't pretend we understand. Of course, it's hard to understand. If you're not homosexual, it's really hard to understand. And all of this. So this seems to be like, for me, this is my choice of answer too. Yeah, we feel that we are not being understood and accepted by the society. All right, is that okay? Okay, so up to this point, do you have any question? I mean, if you have, please don't hesitate to type in the chat box, and we can discuss. Let me stop sharing this for one moment. Okay, sorry, just I shouldn't quit first. Yeah, let me just okay, now let's pause for if you have any question. Okay, Shen, turn on your.
So, Faster, you're done with your sharing?
Yeah, I think if you have a question, we can try to have a discussion or something, and then we can, if you have time, I will come back to show you more scenarios. Let's see if we have questions now.
Right, thank you, Venerable, for the great sharing. Now, if any one of you has got any question, please feel free to type in the chat box so that I can read it out on your behalf. So in the meantime, in order to buy some time for everyone, I think maybe I can start the first questions.
Yes, please.
Okay. So of course, I agree that if you are able to see things and feel things from others' perspective, there'll be less hatreds and grievances in relationships. Nevertheless, humans being humans, we do not like to be taken advantage of or even bullied. So in certain cases, when you feel that the other party is not being nice to you, but you can't really stop them from doing so. So what do you think is the best way to treat the situation?
Okay. Yeah, so not to let people taking advantage of us, I mean, being too soft and too nice, right?
Yes.
Okay, so what I'm saying here is like, when I'm talking about paying attention, yeah, and then being acceptance, actually paying attention is not only paying attention to the other people, it's also paying attention to ourselves. When somebody says some words, something that we have a reaction, we feel angry, or we feel maybe envy sometimes, or we feel kind of hurt. So these are the natural emotions that we have in our mind. It's something that we cannot control usually. You know, if you are not really trained, I mean, we are not really going to like Buddhist practice deeply enough, these emotions arise and usually out of control. So paying attention is actually not just outward, but also inwardly, how we see our reaction to that situation. If we can do that, whether it's anger, or whether it's hatred, I'm sure that is fine. Like as I say in the very beginning, towards my mother, who woke me up in the middle of the night and tried to tell me to turn off the aircon because it's not safe. Yeah, I have to admit that at that point I was a little bit angry. Yeah, I cannot really control, because immediately that kind of emotion just arose, because you've been woke up in the middle of the night when you're having a good night's sleep and you were trying to struggle with the heat, of the environment. I admit that I have that kind of feeling, but that is paying attention to myself and to other people. That's the first step. And then if I could really pay attention to it and know what's coming up, I think we are giving us a chance to choose what to do next. You see, if we can stop a while and pay attention to how I'm feeling, you stop and think, oh, am I feeling angry? Am I not? Yes, I'm angry. But if just by that action itself, pause for 1 second, and that changes everything. The next reaction, we are able to think, oh, how should I react? So what I'm saying about listening is, we listen to other people, we listen to ourselves, and then we don't react immediately out of anger. Imagine if I reacted, if I shouted at my mom, oh, you want to sleep, just, just forget it, let me sleep. She'll be hurt. I will be hurt. And she will be cooking for me for the next 2 days. That's pretty bad, yeah? So what I'm saying is, yes, of course, in the society, in workplace, some people, we know that some people actually can take advantage of us. But how do we deal with them? Should we yell back? Should we, I don't know, do the same thing to them? I think it's a choice. But do we give ourselves a choice? Sometimes we don't. If we don't pay attention to how our feeling is, if we don't stop for even 1 second before we react, we don't give ourselves a choice to choose a wiser way of reacting. If we don't do that, we yell. That makes things worse, right? Well, yelling back maybe can help you stop the person from taking advantage, only if you know what you're doing. You know what I mean? If you're yelling back, it's after you think about it, yeah, it's too much. I need to show him or her that is the limit. Do not cross the line. Okay, that is after we know we are angry, after we know that we have to do something, then we decided to react in an angry way. I mean, that is fair. We thought about it. We chose, we have the option. What happened in the society is most people react without thinking. Yeah, you just go, you just watch on the highway, you know. If one people just, let's say, just cut you, you know, right in front of you, what's your reaction? If you're like, what, you know, and then you just chase after him, try to cross over, that is foolish. You know, what are we doing? We're trying to let go our anger in a way that is causing us harm and causing other people harm. So that option is bad, it's wrong. But instead, we take 1 second, think, oh, maybe, yeah, I'm angry. Yes. That's rude. What if, you know, what if this person is having emergency? We don't know, we never know. And by just having that thought, we may choose a completely different path, reaction. We may not chase over the guy or the girl. We may just be a little bit more steady, you know, or we might just honk, you know. That's better than chasing after. So that's the difference between whether we do it consciously to choose our reaction to the situation. So yeah, I think you're completely right. Some people take advantage of us. If we know that, yes, and we feel angry, yes, it's valid, we feel angry. But think for 1-2 seconds, yeah, that is attention. Pay attention to our mind. This is called Buddhist practice. Buddhist practice always says that don't react to your emotions. Pay attention to it. See how your emotion rises. See how it kind of, see your emotion goes, comes and goes. No, it's impermanence. So if we react just based on our emotion, it's dangerous, it's not wise, it's hurting ourselves and other people. So this is exactly what the Buddha taught us. Pay attention to our emotions, see how it rises, and then choose our action. By doing so, I'm sure we know how to handle all situations. But that is my answer. Yeah.
Thank you very much for your answer. But I can see question coming in the chat box. Let me read it out. My 4-year-old said, I'm not listening to him. I know he wants attention. I fear he's not listening to me either. Just want me to listen to him. So how should I handle this?
Okay, yeah, let me go back to that, to the example of my friends, right? Was talking about when we were hiking the mountain, you know, well, we actually, when the boy was actually crying there and say, oh, you know, I'm dying, I'm so tired. Actually, I mean, for a normal person, you know, we might think that, yeah, he wants attention, right? Definitely, you know, a boy wants to be pampered at the time. He was really tired, you know, he doesn't want to continue. He was saying, oh, I'm dying. But that saying might be just that we don't know, but we might think that he's want attention. I think this is just like what you're saying here. You know, my 4-year-old say that I'm not listening. I know he want attention. I feel he's not listening to me either. Just want me to listen to him. But how to deal with this? Yes. So my friend, I think he did the very good reaction by just reflecting to him what he's going through. Yeah, it's hard, isn't it? Yeah, I know, it's okay. So I don't know. I think that is why, I mean, listening even to an adult, to a boy, if we can, like a mirror, we reflect to them what they're going through. Yeah, I know, it's hard. Yes, I know you're bored. Yes, I know you might feel sad to say good night to your, to your PlayStation, 5, whatever. Yeah, they want to keep playing the game, the computer games, and without going to bed. If you stop them, they'll cry, right? So what happened is, yes, instead of scolding, oh, no, stop playing, you know, got school tomorrow, and then start yelling. But instead of doing that, we try to understand that, yeah, I know you feel sad, yeah, to say good night to your games. I know it's hard, but, you know, it's okay, you know. Yeah, I mean, I understand. That's it, you know, maybe it's just stop there and see how the child will react to that. Make him feel that he's listened to, his answer by reflecting like a mirror to them. Yeah, I know you feel sad. Maybe that's it. You know, sometimes you see how he reacts. And when they say, oh, you keep crying, yeah, I know you're bored. just keep doing it. And, I don't know how it will end, but I think this is a message about the listening, how to listening skillfully to make people feel that we are with them. We are not against them. Yeah. And now you say that, I know he wants attention. You see, this is a judgment. I know he wants attention. I know. But actually, compassionate listening, it's about how we feel. It's about, at this point, it's about how the other person is feeling. So maybe you can try that and see how it goes.
All right, so I don't see any more questions coming in the chat box. So I think most of participants maybe here knows how to handle the situations most of the time.
Okay.
Oh,
you
yeah.
Still got a bit of time, right?
Sorry. Yeah, we do about 2 minutes more. Oh, yeah. I see the next question coming in from Sharon. This is the question. How do you practice compassion listening if someone keeps sharing negativity and not being affected by them?
Yeah, this is very difficult. Yeah, when somebody, especially those who are going depression, that actually, not to be affected by them. We need to have attention to our own feelings. Yeah, I mean, as I say, as we saw in a movie, being empathy. Actually, we try to stand on the same shoe as the other person, but that sometimes we may be affected. So it's important to draw a line somewhere. Draw a line meaning that yes, I listen to you. I try to reflect how you feel. I try to feel the same as you do. But you have to know yourself. You have to keep monitoring your own emotions. When you feel like, oh, I really feel dragged down. My energy is drained out. If you are feeling that, then you have to somehow, skillfully tell the other person, frankly, that, oh, I know how you feel. I'm sorry, but today I'm really tired now. But can we talk again some other time? I'm very sorry that I really want to listen, but you have to draw a line somehow. But that is the experience, how you actually feel. That's why we need to have attention to ourselves and to the others. Of course, even I know some counselors, who actually doing counseling every day. Like how many people the counselor have to see every day just to listen to problems and suffering. That's very hard. Yeah. So what they do, my friend told me this, they have like buddies. Buddies mean they have a support system. Whenever they feel, lack of energy, when they feel down, they talk to other people. They talk to their peers, they talk to their friends, and try to support. So try to not do it alone. When you're listening to your friend complaining to you a little bit about, and you yourself try to find a support, either someone close to you, your family members, or someone that you can trust, and tell them, also let go your feelings, your uncertainties, your anxiety. So it's a two-way kind of help. You're helping others, and you need other people to help us. I think that is an ongoing process. So I won't say there's an easy answer to that, how to stay away from negativity and not being affected. I think that needs a lot of training, especially meditation helps a lot. If we do meditation, I'm sure we can have more awareness of how our feelings and emotions are. But before we have that kind of capability, it's good to have someone that we can talk to share our feelings. So that is a teamwork, in a way. We not just accept all the time. We also have to let it out sometimes. So that is what they call, we need a support system. Yeah, it's not easy. I can guarantee it's not easy, but you have to keep trying to find a balance between yourself and the others. So these are some advice I can think about.
Thank you, Venerable, for the answer. Due to time constraint, where we need to end the talk here. So for those that still have got any questions, please feel free to stay back after the talk. We will leave the Zoom on for maybe most probably around another 15 minutes or so that you can ask questions. So we would now like to invite Venerable Yu Min to dedicate merits for tonight's event.
Okay. Just let me share the screen. Desktop. But okay. Let me just, before we do dedication, let me just do a very quick summary. So today we talk about compassionate listening. Yeah. We talk about attention. We talk about acceptance. We talk about altruism. Attention means paying attention to others' needs and our emotions. That attention, give time to others. That's a kind of kindness that we can give to others. And big acceptance means that we accept who they are without trying to solve their problem, right away. That comes later. But when the listening part, we try to accept who they are, give them a space, a room, and respect them. And altruism means that, remember, it's not about us. When we are listening, it's not about us. It's always about the others. Yeah, this is what we call altruism or selflessness in Buddhism. It's not about us. It's about others. So these are the three concepts that I have shared with you, and I hope it helps us in our relationship with our loved ones, our families, and friends. Okay, now let's do a really short metta prayer, and you can repeat after me, and then we'll dedicate together by the end of this. Okay, so please join your palm together and we recite this metta passage together. May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and joy. May kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of the endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. Okay, just before we end, I'm going to show you that we do dedication together, but with the movie, with the video together. Yeah? It's a very beautiful song sang by Venerable Heng Shui from America. So I'm sure you love it. Yeah, you can sing along with the lyrics that we just chanted. That's the metta dedication to ourselves and to other people. Can you hear it? Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
May every living being, our minds as one and radiant with light, share the fruits of peace with hearts of goodness, luminous and bright. If people hear and see how hands and hearts can find in giving unity, may their minds awake to great compassion, wisdom, and to joy. May kind kindness find reward. May all who sorrow leave their grief and pain. May this boundless light break the darkness of their endless night. Because our hearts are one, this world of pain turns into paradise. May all become compassionate and wise. May all become compassionate and wise.
Okay, that's all.
Okay. On behalf of People's Buddhism Studies Society, I'd like to thank Venerable Yumin for tonight's sharing and everyone for your time. We look forward to see you soon. Good night.
Good night, everyone. See you again. Sensei, こんばんは。先生、聞こえますか？板垣先生。